And on September 21, 1972, President Ferdinand E. Marcos proclaimed Number 1081 or placing the entire Philippines under martial law. Shortly thereafter, on November 30, 1972, the draft of the 1973 Constitution was formally approved by the Constitutional Convention and submitted to the Citizen Assembly for ratification. And on January 17, 1973, President Ferdinand E. Marcos issued the Proclamation Number 1102 or Ratification of 1973 Constitution, in which he announced that the 1973 Constitution had been ratified by an overwhelming majority of the people and had thus become effective. 1973 Constitution composed a preamble and 17 articles, provided for the shift from presidential to a parliamentary system of government. The values of preamble are unity, patriotism, faith in the Almighty God, work, respect for life, respect for law of government, truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, peace, promotion of the common good, concern for family and future generations, order and concern for the environment. Article 1 of the National Territory. Section 1, the national territory comprises to the Philippines archipelago with all the islands and water embraces therein, and all the Irish territories belonging to the Philippines by the historic right or legal title. Article 2, Declaration of State Policies, the Philippines as a republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people in all governmental authorities. Section 2. The Philippines renounces war as an instrument of national policy, adopts generally accepted principles of international law as a part of the law of the land, adheres to the policy of peace, equality, justice, freedom, cooperation, and amity with all nations. Article 3. Citizenship. Section 1. Those who are citizens of the Philippines at the time of the adoption of this Constitution, those whose fathers or mothers are citizens of the Philippines. Those who elect the Philippine citizenship pursuant to the provision of the two Constitution of 1935. Those who are naturalized in accordance with law. Section 2. A female citizen of the Philippines who marries an foreign or alien shall retain her Philippine citizenship unless by her act or omission she is deemed under the law to have renounced her citizenship. Section 3. Philippine citizenship may be lost or reacquired in the manner provided by law. Section 4. A natural-born citizen is one who is citizen of the Philippines from birth without having to perform any act to acquire or perfect his Philippine citizenship. Article 4 or Bill of Rights. Section 1. No person should be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. Section 2. Private property shall not be taken for public use without compensation. Section 3. The right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purposes shall not be violated, and no search warrants of arrest shall except upon probable cause to be determined by the judge or such other responsible officers as may be authorized by law.
Good day everyone, my name is Alexis Rose P. Miergas. I will be reporting Article 5 to 7. Article 5. Duties and Obligation of Citizens. Section 1. It shall be the duty of the citizens to be loyal to the Republic and to honor the Philippine flag. Section 2. The rights of the individual impose upon him the correlative duty to exercise them responsibly and with due regard for the rights of others. Section 3. It shall be the duty of every citizen to engage in gainful work to assure himself and his family a life worthy of human dignity. Section 4. It shall be the obligation of every citizen qualified to vote to register and cast his vote. Article 6. Suffrage. Suffrage shall be exercised by citizens of the Philippines not otherwise disqualified by law, who are 18 years of age or over and who shall have resided in the Philippines for at least 1 year, and in the place wherein they propose to vote for at least 6 months, preceding the election. Article 7. The President and Vice President. Section 1. The President shall be the head of state and chief executive of the Republic of the Philippines. Section 2. There shall be a Vice President who shall have the same qualifications and terms of office as the President, and may be removed from office in the same manner as the President as provided in Article 8, Section 2 of this Constitution. Section 3. No person may be elected President unless he is at least 50 years of age at the day of his election as President, and a resident of the Philippines for at least 10 years immediately preceding his election. Section 4. 1. The President shall have an official residence and shall receive a compensation to be fixed by law which shall not be increased or decreased during his term of office. 2. The President shall not during his tenure hold any appointive office, practice any profession, participate directly or indirectly in the management of any business, or be financially interested directly or indirectly in any contract with or in any franchise or special privilege granted by the government or any subdivision, agency, or instrumentality thereof, including government-owned or controlled corporations. Section 5. In case of permanent disability, death, removal from office, or resignation of the President, the Speaker of the National Assembly shall act as President until a successor has been elected for the unexpired portion of the term of the President. Section 6. The President shall have the following rules and functions. 1. Address the National Assembly at the opening of its regular session. 2. Proclaim the election of the Prime Minister. 3. Dissolve the National Assembly and call for a general election as provided herein. 4. Accept the resignation of the Cabinet as provided herein. 5. Attest to the appointment of cessation from office of members of the Cabinet and of other officers as may be provided by law. 6. Appoint all officers and employees in his office in accordance with the Civil Service Law. 7. Perform such other duties and functions of state as may be provided by law. Section 7. The President shall be immune from suit during his tenure.
Article 8. The National Assembly, composed of 20 sections. The Constitution vests the legislative power in the National Assembly. A Prime Minister is elected from among the members of the National Assembly and serves as the head government and commander-in-chief of the Philippine Armed Forces. Article 9. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet, composed of 16 sections. The executive power shall be exercised by the Prime Minister with the assistance of the Cabinet. The Cabinet, headed by the Prime Minister, shall consist of the heads of ministries as provided by law. The Prime Minister shall be the head of the government. Article 10. The Judiciary. The judicial power is vested in the Supreme Court, composed of a Chief Justice and 14 justices. The National Assembly exercises the power to define, prescribe, and apportion the jurisdiction of the lower courts. All justices of the Supreme Court and judges of the lower courts are appointed by the Prime Minister.
Good day, I'm Marilyn Benosa Malapo, and this is my report. Local government. Local autonomy is guaranteed by the Constitution, and local governments are given the power to create their own sources of revenues and levy tax. The Constitution also grants supervisory power to higher local government units over their component units. It also provides for that enactment of a local government code that will provide for an effective system of recall. So, Section 4 talks about there were specific manifestations of increasing central control over local affairs and decreasing powers, functions, and responsibilities of local governments. The new republic, martial law was lifted on January 17, 1981, and the new republic was inaugurated on June 30, 1981, pursuant to the constitutional amendments of 1981. The barangay election held on May 17, 1982, pursuant to Batas Pambansa bilang 222 dated March 22, 1982. The conversion of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development into a Ministry of Local Government and the approval of the local government. The Local Government Code Batas Pambansa bilang 337 dated February 10, 1983, otherwise known as the Local Government Code. So we have 3 books here entitled Book 1, General Provision, Book 2, Local Government Units, and Book 3, Miscellaneous. Section 1. The constitutional commissions which shall be independent are the Civil Service Commissions, the Commission on Elections, and the Commission of Audit. Section 2. Otherwise provided by law, the chairman and each commissioner of a constitutional commission shall receive an annual salary of 60,000 pesos and 50,000 pesos respectively, which shall not be decreased during their continuance in office. Section 3. No member of the Constitutional Commission shall, during his tenure on office, engage in the practice of any profession or in the management of any business. The Constitution Commission shall appoint their officials and employees in accordance with the Civil Service Law. Article 13. Accountability of Public Officers. Section 1. Public office is a public trust. Public officer or employee shall serve with the highest degree of responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, and shall remain accountable to the people. So, Section 2, it's all about the conviction of culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, other high crimes, or graft and corruption. Section 3. The Batas ng Pambansa shall have the exclusive power to initiate, try, and decide all causes of impeachment. Section 4. Republic of the Philippines, but the party convicted shall, nevertheless, be liable and subject to prosecution, trial, and punishment in accordance with law. To be known as Sandigan Bayan, which shall have jurisdiction of criminal and civil cases involving graft and corrupt practices and such other offenses committed by public officers and employees, including those in government-owned. So, Section 6 talks about the Batas ng Pambansa shall create an office of the Ombudsman to be known as Tanumbayan.